Do not let your children stay the night anywhere ever. No matter how much you think you trust someone or how much you think you know someone, you do not know them.
Child molestation is very, very common, or was common in our time. I feel like even now it's still going on. And when our child, or when our daughters, or back then when we were molested, then it was impossible for us to talk because we're afraid of what to say, or what will people say, or will people believe me, because the kind of people that were molesting us back then were people that were trustworthy by our family members. Is either your father, your uncle, your daddy's friend that could just come into the house and free to just, you can sit on his lap, you can do everything. These are the people that your family members trust. So those are the people that easily try to molest us back then. And it's difficult for us to voice out because it would be as if you don't know what you're saying. And sometimes some mothers even know that their child is being molested, but they won't talk because they don't want their husband to pursue them out of the house. So this lady is sharing her story on sleepovers. Even there, sometimes you go sleepover, you take your child to go sleepover at their friend's place. There's some things that happen down there that you would not know. This is a story time of something like that. So if you're easily triggered, I don't think this video is for you, but then you can just watch it. It's just a very short clip, and let's watch it and let's listen to what she has to say, and I'll be back to share my thoughts at the end of the video.
Do not let your children stay the night anywhere ever. No matter how much you think you trust someone or how much you think you know someone, you do not know them. When I was 11 years old, I was in 5th grade. I had this best friend that I loved like so dearly, and we had gone on to be friends for several years. There was a group of 4 of us that were really, really close, and it was that way for years. So I was 11 years old. This little girl was in my 5th grade class. Her mother was my teacher.
Yeah.
And us girls, we would stay the night at her house often. There was always one of us there. As well as the other girls in our 5th grade class, they would stay the night there. And at 11 years old, I was being molested by her father while she was in the room, or the sister was in the room next door, or the mom was in the kitchen. I was brutally molested by this man, and it was so strange because it was like almost like it was normal for this to be happening, and I don't know how he never got caught. I didn't end up saying anything until years later to my mother. What I find strange, though, is the fact that when he would, my parents would come pick me up, he would be standing over me, telling my parents how great of a kid I was, that he would love for me to come back, right? But he would have his hands over me and he would be rubbing my chest. And I don't know how the fuck my parents didn't pick up on that, but I remember feeling insanely uncomfortable. Now, there was 2 girls in this class, and they were more developed. I think it was actually the next year. These girls were more developed than I was physically. God, this makes me want to cry. But one of the girls had come to me, and she said, I know that he's doing these things to you. And she asked, is he? And I looked at her, and I kind of shook my head, yeah, but like I was so ashamed. And she was like, we have to tell somebody, you know that, right?
Yeah.
And I just looked at her and I shook my head like, no, like, I'm not going to say anything, like you can, but I'm not going to say anything because I was so ashamed,
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that like my parents didn't see these things and didn't pick up on that when they were picking me up, like, I was like, it's, they would have said something, but they didn't. So in my head, I was like, well, maybe it's normal. But I remember like the look on this girl's face and like how like defeated she looked. And it was the whole 5th grade class, all the girls in my 5th grade class were being molested. by my best friend's father, my teacher's husband. I never told her, and eventually I just stopped talking to her and her family. If you ever see this, you'll know who you are. I just want you to know that I love you so much and that you didn't do anything wrong. And I love your mom and I love your sister. But your dad changed my life. And, it's made me stronger because I'm a mom and I have 2 children. I would never let them stay anywhere ever, no matter how much I trusted anyone. Because you just never know. So from mother to mother, we just can't let our babies, no matter how much we trust somebody, we just can't put them in the hands of other people, because nobody will love them the way that we do. Nobody will protect them the way that we do. So just be cautious, mamas and daddies too. Look for the signs, talk with your children. But that's my story. No, I did not say a word to anyone about it at all. I didn't even talk with myself about it until I was 13. I finally told my mother, and even then, nothing was done. She made it about herself, and she told me, those things happened to her when she was little, and she cried about it, and she was so sad and so distraught while I was reaching out asking for help. Like, this happened to me, telling her, like, help me. And we just, she just went on her merry way. Like, that wasn't a big deal. So I did eventually tell my mother, but nothing was done about it. And so from that point on, I just lived with it silently. And throughout my childhood, now looking back on my childhood, I was also being groomed for SA by my own father. So I don't know. A lot of the comments I keep seeing are, well, why didn't you say anything? Or, why did you keep going over there? And I think a lot of it has to do is, like, I was being groomed by someone in my family as well. So maybe I saw it as almost normal, or, it wasn't that bad. So, I wasn't bleeding or I wasn't hurt, or so I just, let it be. I was fine. So it's okay. God, it's so fucked up to say that, because if it was my kids, like, oh my God, I wouldn't take it lightly. But looking back, like, that's why, like, and I would keep going over to her house because she was my friend. I loved her, and, she didn't do anything wrong. And if I would just go for the day, then, like, it wouldn't be too bad, and I could like stay away, and as long as her mom was there, I think I would be okay, but then I'd get there to go play and have fun with my friend, and mom would go to the store, to go get food for dinner, and we would be left there with dad, and, then those things would happen. This is crazy to talk about. Like, I didn't expect, like, to get so many questions, but, yeah, like, that's why I kept going back. You think, like, oh, this time will be better, but it doesn't get better, and, and then, I don't know, life is wild like that, but, we just have to keep an open line of communication with our children at all points in time, so that way we can see these things and remove our children before they happen. Mm-hmm. This is so much, and I didn't expect this to be such, like, a hot topic, but I'm glad to, like, shed awareness on this, because it happens more often than not, and it's not just friends, like family too, because now looking back on my life and my childhood, I disassociated from a lot of nasty things that my father had said to me and done to me when I was 15 years old. I was kind of a reckless teen. Like, I had gone through a lot of crap in my life, and I was talking to boys and I was sending nudes, and somehow my father got a hold of those nudes that I was sending, and we had gone to the library one day, and because he needed to check his email. And on his email, I was sitting right next to him, and on his email popped up nude pictures of me. And I just disassociated so hard because one, I was scared. That's my father. Like, what do you think? Like, was there something wrong with me? I don't even know, like, how to fucking process that. And I've been in therapy and I still am trying to process all of it, but, you know, I just disassociated from a lot of it. But now looking back, like, I see, like, I was being groomed for these things, and, you know, you don't know it when you're in it. So, as a parent now, like, we just have to be cautious, and we have to be 5 steps ahead for our babies. But it's not just friends, it's family, it's people that are close to you, you know. God, I've just heard horror stories. Like, yes, my story is one, but I've heard even worse things. But it's family too. You guys have to be careful. And they're not just attacking our daughters and our little girls. It's the little boys too. We have to protect our children, period. It's not just the little girls. It's the little boys. You know, it's our teenagers. It's all of them. It's our babies. And as from just parent to parent, it's our job to keep them safe and to protect them. Another question that I keep getting asked is, am I going to press charges, or am I going to do anything about it? Or why didn't I say anything? Why haven't I told anybody that I can still do it at this point in time? And I didn't know that. So what I think I'm going to do now is I think I'm going to reach out to the other girls. I don't even know where any of them are, but I'm going to try and reach out to the girls that I know that this happened to, and maybe we can just all come together and do it at the same time, you know, because doing it that way, I know my story is powerful, but I think there's power in numbers too, and we deserve justice for the things that we had gone through. So knowing that I can, you know, maybe still put him behind bars, or, you know, protect other people from this happening, even now still, I just might. So thank you for the people who filled me in on this information, and I'm definitely going to look into it.
For me, stories like this, it's very triggering. Anyways, what is your take? I just feel like she has said it all. We parents need to protect our children, and to think that a lot of people were asking in the comment section that why you should talk. I feel like when those things were happening, it's very difficult for you. And just as she said, she thought it was normal. In fact, her dad was grooming her as well. Imagine her dad has her nude picture. And some people were even saying in the comment section that they feel like the teacher knows, which is her friend's mom is aware. And I feel like it's possible. It's possible. Maybe it's part of the agreement. They come home with students and they try to, you know, I feel like it's possible, but we cannot be sure. But I feel like as a woman in the house, I should have that, you know, instinct that something like that is going on. Not just one child, not 2, not 3. And I feel like it didn't stop with her. It must have continued. And it was not a one-time thing. So I just feel like the woman should have sensed it, that something like that is going on. Or maybe she might have seen it, but she just ignored because it's not her daughter. Or she doesn't have a say then. I don't know, because even now that she spoke to her mom about it, then her mom made it all about her and started crying. Even me, I've been molested. I don't know, this period, the kind of stories when it comes to women coming out to talk about how their childhood was, how their father was molesting them, how their brother, their uncle, their family friend were doing it. And when they talk to their parents, especially their mom, they don't say anything. I feel like it's even worse, because it's better for you not to even know and be angry at me that I didn't tell you than me telling you and you did nothing. The other one we did the last time, the lady that talked about everything, that one was even more deep than this. If you've not seen the video, if you have mind, go and look for the video and watch it. She told her mom, in fact, her mom saw what was happening. She ignored. She did that so she didn't see anything. And I wonder, how can, even if you hate the child, even if the child was adopted, I just feel like mothers should have this natural protecting spirit. Like, even if you're sensing it, that sometimes you can just see, like, immediately your brain will tell you that this is wrong. Because why would you go and pick up your child at her friend's place and the dad is rubbing her breast? What kind of, she's 11 years old. She's 11 years old. That is not a joke. That is something you should be like, I don't like this. Immediately, you're talking straight up. I don't like this, don't do this. But because the parents don't even care, they're okay with it. Or maybe some women, I just feel like some women were not able to talk then because they don't have money and they're kind of living with their husbands income, so they don't want to be sent out of the house. I'm just trying to make excuse for them because I don't want to believe a sane mother will see a child like that. And thank God that she it's really sad, to be honest. I just feel like most of the time the kind of people that we trust most of the time are the people that they might be very dangerous around our kids. So as parents, we need to be very careful about sleepovers, about who we trust with our child, and always try to have conversation with your child. Always try to know them and look at them thoroughly. Is anything changed? Are they happy? Are they unhappy? Try to have conversations with them and try to listen to their pains, not just talking about your own pain. Try to listen to their pains and maybe they can open up. I know, because sometimes she said that she thought it was a normal thing. She wouldn't know. She doesn't know if it's normal or not. So far, her parents were not talking, and a friend, like, in fact, other girls were like, this is the thing he does to us. It looks normal to her, even though she knows that it's wrong. But she thought it was normal. It's now that she has grown up and she realized that it was all wrong. I wish, in fact, people were like, you can still go to court, you can still press charges and all of that. I just hope this man just die behind the bars, because I just feel like he didn't stop with her. There were other students that he might have done all these things to, and it's really sad. It's really sad, to be honest. What is your take on this? Let's have conversation in the comment section. And thank you all so much for tuning in today's video. It's your favorite girl again, Mara Davis. And don't forget to like and share and subscribe. And turn on the post notification bell so you get notified when I upload another interesting video. And of course, I'll see you all in my next one. Bye.